Hi everyone, I'm Terri Coots, and you are listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thank you for joining me to explore the week of November the 11th through the 17th, 2024. I'm not going to talk politically. I'm sure enough people have. I just have to get this off my chest, and I thank you for joining me and spending your time with me. And I will try not to let your ears fall off by my diatribe and just give you nice information. But I'm so disappointed, and I can't help it. And more disappointed I find myself about the people that supported a person in the American elections that behaves in that way and thinks that way, and just for economic advantageous situations. And I can't say I'm not disappointed, and that would be a really big understatement. I'm terrified. It's going to be a few years before the second shoe drops. And I pulled a few cards so that I could talk to you about this with this on my mind. I can't get this off my mind, so it would be difficult for me to get information from my guides because this is on my mind so much, because I'd have to erase my brain cells, which sometimes I feel has happened. But on that note, I knew we were going to probably have a very, very, very close race, but you know, optimism burns eternal in the heart of a human being with hope. And I just hoped for people to be a little bit more far-sighted. And I really did hope that good would win and hope would win and lack of fear-mongering would win and kindness would win over evil. But it didn't. And so we have that challenge that's ahead of us, because the darkness will get darker. It could be a lesson that we all need to learn as human beings, as any mammal. When lessons are more difficult, the harder the punishment, the harder the consequences, the more significant the learning is. So maybe it's our destiny to learn the hard way, so that we have an indelible idea of what hardship is. This generation has never experienced hardship, so to speak, not compared to some of the other generations and some of what they've had to go through. So we have that ahead of us. And so what it's done for me, it's helped me try to just enjoy every tiny little thing that I do, because I don't know how long it's going to last. And I hope and pray for the grace to handle what's going to come at us. We will be affected as Canadians, of course, because policies that are made by different world leaders affect everybody globally. Collective consciousness, where we all have our mind in the same place, affects everybody universally. So I guess all we can do now is try to swing on the star and try to be hopeful and be an inspiration to people that have lost their way and maybe have lost their hope, and we can maybe show them goodness and kindness and forgiveness, and in that way maybe send a higher vibration out into the universe, and hopefully it doesn't land too hard on the fence. So we still have Scorpio in the sun sign, and Scorpio is that very difficult energy, very complicated energy, but very good energy to help us look at things realistically. So possibly people around that need to look at things realistically to save other people from some really dark consequences will be able to do so. And Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, that's in Sagittarius, and that's the hope that springs eternal. Sagittarius is one that never gives up and never says die and just keeps right on going. I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So it's an energy field that allows us the opportunity to look at things realistically and the tools to be optimistic about it. Yay! And then Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, is in Capricorn, which will hopefully give us the tools to figure out, how do we attack this? How do we tackle this? How can we sort this out? What's the best approach? Looking ahead at some of the things that could happen and being proactive and maybe getting a little bit of a head start before, so that we don't fall off the cliff or get into more trouble than we're already going to get into. So I'm very hopeful. And then Mars, the planet of our passion, is in Leo, and Leo is an energy field that hopefully will offer us some good leaders that will lead from a pulling position as opposed to a pushing position. What that means is they're willing to have people follow them because they're good leaders, as opposed to pushing somebody into something and see if blood and guts come out instead of something else. So it's a good energy all the way around. It really is. And then if there are any babies born under this kind of energy field, they will be in that mind frame, that energy vibration, and maybe become very good leaders to lead us into a future that will be very foreign to what I have experienced as a 75-year-old and other people maybe 60 years old have experienced. The young people, I would say Generation X, is the one that I understand, is the one that did most of the voting of that person in. And they lean towards authoritarianism, want a strong man, Arnold Schwarzenegger, that kind of thing. Powerful words, they like it jammed down. So maybe they get to experience it and see that maybe that's not as warm and fuzzy as they're thinking that it could be. And the beginning of the week, we want to watch our head, our teeth, our tongue, and the arteries, because those will be the vulnerable parts. So if you are prone to headaches, sinuses, sore throats, upper respiratory, that's going to be a vulnerable part for you. And if you have clogged arteries, don't eat any stuff that clogs them even more. Watch the heart. And then the middle of the week, that will move down to the neck and the vocal cords, the throat, and the thyroid gland. So if you have issues, as a rule, I'm sensitive to laryngitis. If you have thyroid, if you have laryngitis issues, your vocal cords give you any trouble, if your neck stores stress, that might be an area that won't be so happy. So just go ahead and do what I did and use your little massager and get ahead of it. Get that neck and everything all nice and smooth, and then your vocal cords, maybe drink some honey and just smooth it out ahead of time. And then towards the end of the week, that may move down to the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the bronchial tubes, and the lungs. If you know that, you know what? Get your essential oils out. Maybe inhale some eucalyptus or RC from Young Living, just to be ahead so you don't be cooking a bacterial infection. The number that was given to us with all these planets is the number 3. And that, combined with where the planets are, allows us to be mentally alert. Truthfully, at this time, I wished I was not mentally alert so that I could be oblivious of what's coming. But that's not the case. So number 3 gives us an energy field that makes us, hopefully, not forget things as much as we did, gives opportunity to have a more creative mind. How can we work around this? And how to be original. And a good imagination. And I'm going to use that because I have to build a parrot stand. And I want that parrot stand to be original and creative. And I'm going to have fun with that. So I'm not usually technical or able to make things, but I think this energy is going to help me out. This number 3 hates boredom and does enjoy cooperating with others. So perfect energy field for what we have ahead of us too. Can be charming, can be witty. And the caution would be careful not to be critical of others. I have already failed in that area. Oops. But it's about trying to be more tolerant, not permissive, but a little bit more tolerant, and try to understand where they're coming from as opposed to judgy. and it's going to offer us an opportunity to maybe learn how to be more diplomatic. And I think we could use that. I really do. Instead of calling people Sleepy Joe or Stupid Kamala, or maybe we could just be a little bit more diplomatic. There's a need with this to work freely and without restraint. So we would do better working on our own or with somebody, but not somebody telling us what to do. Working in pairs is a really good idea with this kind of an energy right now. And we can actually find ourselves working a little better under stress. This is healthy stress, not bad stress, so that it pushes us a little bit and activates our mental energy, because that little teeny bit of adrenaline might just push us a little bit. So we get some really good energy. I'm really happy with it. Now, the weakness of this paired number 3 with where the planets are right now is restlessness, and maybe a little bit of distractibility, bad temper, irritability, fear of dullness, and an uneven financial life. So I know this is silly, but I'm even noticing this right now with my dogs. My dogs seem, with dogs that are misbehaving, that come here for learning how to be a dog, a good dog, a dog that speaks dog. I'm finding my dog's temper a little bit short. They don't do bad things. I just see the lips lift, and I see the body posture. They're not just that happy. My puppy seems to be a little bit more distracted, and I have to work a little harder to keep that dog engaged with me and motivated to work. The irritability on my parrots is to the moon. So I'm trying to help them be a little bit happier. And that fear of dullness, I guess that's kind of mine, where I don't want to be bored. And I can't be bored if I don't stop. And I got a million things to do, which I love to do. And this is great. Now, the card that was pulled, I got to be honest with you guys. I'd like to make this nice rose tea garden, and we could all have sugar in our tea and not be affected by it. But that's not the cards that were pulled. Partly because when I did the shuffling, this issue with the United States is on my mind, and how it's going to affect people globally. I try really hard to be positive in everything that I do, but sometimes it's just over my head. So, in honesty, oh gosh, how honest do I want to be with you guys? I don't want to be that honest, honestly, but here it is. It's not my, it's not my power to censor. So they're warning people that work, what we consider as humans as our work, may become unstable. So they're looking at the future. I don't think this is just this week. I believe in my heart that they're warning us for the future. So here we are, kids. And so work may become unstable as Canadians more than Americans. I don't care about them anymore. They've shown me who they are. But the ones that voted the wrong way, tongue-in-cheek. But the work can be unstable. So that could mean that with some of the policies that will be put on by the president-elect will affect Canadians in a way that we will feel the pressure. They're protectionists, and we are not. And so with them being big, maybe we've got 10% of the population that they do, so guess who's the big guy on the block? Not us. So it's going to affect our jobs. It's going to affect us that way, and it's also showing finances to be a little bit crunchy. So if you know that, what would you do? The Tower came up, and I don't know how many people understand the tarot, but the Tower is one of the most difficult cards in the deck. It's the one that no reader really wants to see. Now, saving grace, it came up upside down, which is good. I mean, like if you burn yourself, did you burn yourself badly, or did you burn yourself a little bit? Or there's graduations of difficulty here. It did come up upside down, so there's a bit of a buffer zone there, but it's still on the table. The Tower indicates where our way of life, so this tower or palace, blows up. It just blows up, and everybody falls off the tower, and everybody's wounded, and it's really hard. So the way of life, what we're used to, the way we understand things, blows up. So the way we are living may not be the same way we'll be living in a decade from now. It will be a very different looking world. And some of us will be shaken off that tower, and some of us maybe cling. It's just how we're all going to handle this, but it'll be a very different looking world in a decade from now. And it's difficult, but it also offers us an opportunity when the tower is upside down like that to rebuild, to have a rebirth, a reset, to look at things and say, this is horrible, I don't want any more of this, how can we fix this? And be motivated to fix it, not lackadaisical. So it's going to be something that will be very, very difficult in the next decade to get through, but the ones that get through will be willing to not go back here again and to move forward and do what is necessary to fix it. Well, that's really good. So it's just hard getting there, right? Anything worth anything is always a challenge to get there, and that's what's laid in front of us. Now, the last one that I want to bring up to you is there's going to be a high level of anxiety. The anxiety card came up, and it came up full in our face. So there's going to be a lot of fear, a lot of worry, and a lot of anxiety, but we have to look at, what can I change? All you can look at is, how best can I do today? How best can I make it for my neighbors tomorrow, or somebody that I don't know? Can I help them in any way? And get through one day at a time. Just get through one day. The dogs have taught me that. As long as we have a ball, we're fine. We don't need anything more than a ball. And so life can be good with a ball. And so it's just saying that if you start to see your anxiety getting bad, try to focus on the good things. That's the only way to handle this at this time. And the very, very last one is that they're showing a lot of opposition. So it's swords, and it's the 7, and it's just saying that a lot of problems will be, or situations that are difficult, or obstacles will be put in our way. And we can fold and quit and say, I can't do it, it's just too much. Or we can say, it's just an obstacle. I'm going to lift my feet up, I'm going to step over it, and I'm going to keep going. That's an individual choice. Are you one of those people, and it will define you? Are you one of the people that quit? Are you going to be a zombie survivor? Who are you going to be? And so this is going to separate the cream from the milk. And are you going to float to the surface, or are you going to sink to the bottom? It's our choice, really. It is our choice. I strongly suggest, that whoever gets a chance to watch The Handmaid's Tale, please do so. It will give you some ideas. It will give you some understanding, and it will help you make some decisions for your future that is coming in a way that maybe be more in your best interest than work against you. So if you get a chance to do that, please do that. Read the book or watch the series. It's your choice. But I do think you should be, forewarned is forearmed. So we should maybe be aware of what we need to know. And just enjoy today. So you be just like those little dogs with the ball, and just enjoy everything that comes at you with 100%. I'm all in. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your friends. Have people over. Mash some potatoes. Just enjoy each other's company. All the little things. Play little card games. Just have fun. And make this a good time for yourself. And if you have good thoughts and your vibrational energy gets up, it'll increase the vibrational energy of other things and other people. And who knows? Maybe just goodwill will fix all of this. On that note, I would like to sincerely thank Charlie O'Brien for all the work that he's done for us. He has created the website, www.terriworld.com. And he has put this podcast, I'm so grateful, on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcast, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And he's got 4 or 5 of these podcasts archived on the website, www.terriworld.com. So you can go and listen to them if you've forgotten or you missed any. So Charlie, thank you so much for doing that for us. I appreciate that so much. And kids, If you get a chance, listen to Charlie's Big Eight. CKLW, or not CKLW, the Big Eight. He's has a radio show that is all the old songs, just brings back all kind of memories. You cannot be upset when you're listening to Charlie's program. So don't be afraid to Google Charlie O'Brien and listen to his Big Eight. Up your happiness with that music, and let's keep Charlie on the air because it's important. Alrighty, if you need a reading for yourself, or you would like me to help you train your dog or your parrot or your horse or your cat or your dog, anything, any animal, or or your kids or your husband, just give me a shout. You can text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thanks again, and maybe we'll have a little fun class. I might put together a little class that will bring the dogs out on a Saturday morning and let them play on the farm here, let them enjoy themselves. We'll get a chance to laugh at the dogs having fun, throw some balls, and we'll all get together and just enjoy. If you're interested in that, pop me an email and we'll put something together and we'll just have some fun. Alrighty, you guys have a good week. Thank you for your kind offer of your time. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.